Children, if I start today, I'll tell you with letter writing. Letter writing, children, letters are written communications, and writing letters is an art. It is mastered through practice. We have to write down, there are two types of letters, children. One is formal letter, and the other one is informal letter. Children, if I talk about formal letters include business letters. They are normally business letters, and they can be treated as, we can take it as application for jobs. Letter to the editor, even letter to the principal or the officers, or in case if we are making any of the complaint to the authorities. So it comes under formal letter. If we talk about informal letter, they are written to the friends, relatives, to the unknown persons, teachers, teachers even. And these include private and personal matters. Personal and private matters, such as in case if we have to congratulate someone, or if we have to invite, or in case if we have to pay condolence, in case somebody is dead and then we have to pay condolence, so then also we include it in informal letter. Now the syllabus, your syllabus actually specifies letter to the editors, school or college authorities, and both are formal letters. So formal letter is much more important for us because the syllabus covers formal letter. Now the very first thing which we have to consider while writing a formal letter, children, formal letter has 7 parts. First of all, the address of the sender. Address of, you don't have to write down, children, you don't have to write down this page. Don't write down this page. I'll be sending you the letter, that you will note down. You will note down the, I'll tell you the format, I'll send you the format that you will note down. You will note down the letter which I'll send you. You don't have to write down these points. Don't write down these points. Just listen carefully. First, it has actually, letter has 7 parts. The very first part we have to look is the address of the sender. Address of the sender means the one who is writing a letter. And then it includes the date. Then comes with inside address. Children, what do you mean by inside address? Inside address means to the person who you are sending it. Then the salutation. Salutation, children, means beginning. Salutation means beginning. Like respected sir, dear sir. See, only sir you can write down. That is salutation. Then comes with heading, subject heading. Actually, after salutation, we have to mention in which context we are writing down the letter. What is the reason of writing down the letter? So, in one line, we write down the subject heading. Children, subject heading is very important because it is a brief outline of the letter. Then comes with the body of the letter, means you have to write down what all you require or what all you wish. Then comes with the subscription. Children, subscription, in case if I go with subscription, then in subscription it means the complimentary clause. It means the complimentary clause, and then comes with signature. Signature means your name. Again, I'll tell you, children, first is the address of the sender. It is, now again, listen very carefully. The address of the sender is written on the top of the page. It is written on top of the page, preferably on the left side, and you will not make any of the punctuation marks. आप उसमें कोई भी कॉमर्स फुल स्टॉप you will not use any of the punctuation marks. You can see the address also. Then comes with date. It is written just below the sender's address. In formal letters, dates can be written as under. This is the method of writing down the date. See? And then in case if we are talking about student, please, I also told you previously in the class that avoid writing the dates in an American style like this. Avoid writing the dates like this. This is not the proper style of writing down the date in the letters. This is 10 full stop 7 full stop 11 or 10/7/11. It is not the appropriate way of writing down the date. Then comes with inside address. Children, inside address is written below the date line after leaving some of the space or one line. Then you can write down, it is M/S means Mrs. The company's name we begin it with. And then before the name of the firms trading under an impersonal name such as Golden Carriers, the Karnataka Small Scale Industries, such type of names you have to be very careful. And before the name of the firms beginning with a singular proper noun, जैसे अगर in case if we have messers, we can use for the single. यहाँ पर in case if you're talking about the single firm name, we will not use messers. The word messers should not be used. Where it should not be used, children? Before the name of the firms trading under an impersonal name. When it is an impersonal name, we will not use messers. We will not use messers where we will not use messers before the name of the firms beginning with a singular proper noun. Singular proper noun, we will not use messers. Like if I say Anil Hardware Stores, we will not write down Messrs Anil Hardware Stores. It is incorrect. Thirdly, Messrs is not used before the names of limited company. If I say limited company means, if I say that Hindustan National Glass Limited, तो we will not write down Messrs Hindustan National Glass Limited. हम मेसर्स नहीं लगाएंगे अगर लिमिटेड वर्ड यूज हो रखा है तो we will not use messers. Fine. Then comes with the third point. The third point is salutation. Children, salutation we can say greeting also. So you have to use proper appropriate words for the receiver according to his or her relation. You have to be very clear cut while mentioning the salutation. The salutation comes just below the address of the recipient. Recipient means to whom you are sending the letter. Just below it you will write down the salutation, and in the first and the last word should be written with a capital letter. It should be the capital letter. Suppose dear sirs, so D will be capital and sir will be capital, and comma may be put after the salutation. After the salutation, in case if you are writing down dear sir, you will mark a comma over there. In business letters I'm talking about. In case if you're writing down dear sir, you will write down D capital and then S capital, and then after that you will put a comma. In official letters, children, in case if it is official letters, applications or letters to the editors. Official letters, applications or letters to the editors, we can either write down sir, we can oblique, we can write down respected sir or ma'am, or dear sir oblique sirs, in case if there are many, in case if you are addressing to a firm. In case if you are addressing a firm, you can write down sirs, because there are many members in a firm. So you can write down dear sirs, sirs. Dear sir, dear ma'am is used while addressing some single official. In case if you are talking about single official, we will write down only sir. Now comes with subject heading. Children, in case if we are talking about subject heading, mention the heading of the subject where below the salutation, where you have written dear sir. Just below it, you will write down the heading in the middle. And the subject should be mentioned briefly. It should be very clear cut and in short, in brief. This helps in speedy compliance or disposal. Means the person who receives it is able to understand that what are you asking for. Now the fifth point is the body of the letter. Children, the body of the letter is the most important part of the letter. It is the most important part of the letter. It contains the actual message. It contains the actual message to be conveyed. What are you trying to convey? You will write down in the fifth point the body of the letter. It may be broken into various paragraphs. You can bifurcate it in different paragraphs. Fine. Each time you say something new. In case if you are saying something new, you can divide it, you can broke it, you can bifurcate it into various paragraphs. Begin with a new paragraph each time you say something new. So in a formal letter, at least it should have 3 paragraphs. In the formal letter, at least 3 paragraphs in the body of the letter. First paragraph, children, what it would be? Introductory para. The first para would be introductory para. Second para, main body of the letter. And third one is concluding para. In the third para, it would be concluding para. Now, the sixth point comes with the subscription. Sixth point is the subscription. Children, actually, subscription is a complementary clause. It is called a complementary clause. It is simply a polite way of leave taking. It should agree in style and tone with the salutation. If you have used sir, ma'am, so in your salutation it would be yours faithfully. If the person addressed is known to the writer and is addressed dear sir, dear ma'am, then you can write down yours sincerely. Yours truly, as it is no longer accepted. Yours truly is no longer accepted. Yours doesn't have an apostrophe. You will not use apostrophe in the word yours. Yours में आप apostrophe नहीं लगाएंगे. And remember, thanking you is grammatically wrong. Thanking you is grammatically wrong and should not be used. Very first point, yours, you will not put an apostrophe. Second, thanking you is grammatically wrong and should not be used. Beginning with to and ending a letter with from is not popular these days. It is no longer in use. You will not write down to the principal or to the editor. You will not use to. Directly you will write down the editor. And first you have to be very careful. The format of the letter is on the very left side. Left side you will write down all these things. Letter, address, then inside address, then subject, then salutation. You will write down extreme left. So there are some optional parts also, children. Optional parts, in case in the formal letter we are talking about, we have to be very careful for the optional parts. The very first part is reference number. In case if you are giving, if you are sending, if you are making a complaint, or you have already placed a complaint and then you have to give a reminder, so you have to write down the REF full dot or full stop NO dot. This is called reference number. And where it appears, children listen very carefully, it appears between the writer's address and date. Writer's address and date. In the official address, we write down reference number. Here you may give file number also. You can give letter number also, and number of dates or particulars of previous correspondence. In case if you have corresponded earlier also, in case if you have corresponded earlier, you can write down that particular of in official letters, children. If we also go somewhere from the school, then the letter is issued to us and then reference number is there. That means that this particular reference, it is mentioned over there, the reference number is there for the correspondence. And the next point is what you have to keep it in mind, that is optional. I'm talking about reference number is optional. Second optional part is enclosures. Short form you will write down ENCL. Children, in enclosures we can mention the enclosed paper and documents. The papers which we are attaching separately is made on the left hand side below the signature. Below the signature we use we write down ENCL, E capital, ENCL dot. That means the papers or the documents you are attaching, and just below the signature you will write down what all you are attaching. In case if it is C dot C dot, it means copies. That means it is necessary to send a copy of the letter to a third person. Suppose I am sending a letter to you, but the same letter I have to send to the principal sir also. Then I will write down below the signature, I will write down CC. CC means that I am sending the same letter to principal sir, to the third person, or to somebody else I am sending. So I will write down C dot C dot. Clear? Letter to the third person. So this is indicated by CC. So it is followed by the name and address. To whom you are sending it, you will write down the name and address. It appears below the enclosures in order to write good business official letters. Children, I will tell you a few guidelines also. When we are talking about a business or the official letters, children, we have to be very brief. We will not ask him, "How are you, sir?" We will not ask his well being. We have to be very brief, clear, concise, and to the point. We will write down the letter to the point. Secondly, we will make a proper layout. Format of these formal letters have to be followed, and it may be block format, or right in we can take it as a informal letter also, we can take it. Then punctuation mark is adopted in the intended form. You don't have to, in case if you're talking about the block letters, block format, you will not use unnecessarily, you will not use the punctuation mark. And do not mix the two formats. Remember, you will not mix the two formats. It would be better for you to practice, children. In case if we are talking about the formats, you practice it. Next one is convey facts briefly. You have to convey the facts briefly. Indicate the theme in the initial para of the body, then you develop the points. You have to indicate the theme in the first para, and then your points should be developed in the middle para and give suggestions or conclude in the final part of the body of the letter. Use simple and direct language. Avoid use of long and sounding words. Be humble. While you are making a business letter, you have to be courteous. You have to be humble. Don't even lodging a complaint or criticizing, you should be polite. Even if you are filing a complaint, or in case if you have any of the grudge, you have to be courteous. You have to be polite. Okay, now I'll tell you the marks rather. They bifurcate the marks, children. You will get 2 marks for the format, 3 marks for the content, and expression is of 2 marks. Generally, the letter writing, it is of 7 marks. If there is no content, make sure if there is no content, then format is not awarded. The marks are not awarded for the format in case if you have not written the content. So remember the golden rule that you should always use a suitable format. Your content should be well organized. Your language should be appropriate. Again, I'll say this thing that you will not award, they will not award you the marks for the format in case if you have not written the content. The golden rule: use suitable format, well organized content, and your language should be appropriate. Am I clear? Children, I'll be sending you the format. What you all have to do is you have to write down those formats in your notebook. I'll be sending you the format. You have to write down the format in your notebook. Secondly, I'll give you the assignment. You will write down the letter. Am I clear? Children, please pen down word of the day. Try to use those expressions which I'm sending you and kindly send the feedback. Only Ishika and Love Bhatia, they are sending the feedbacks. Neha Chaudhary. Otherwise, rest of the children, they are sending, some of the children, they are sending the assignments. But please, I request you to send the feedback and your assignments on time. Only Kajal, Neha Chaudhary, Ishika, Love Bhatia, and Anushka, Abhijit, they are sending the. I have written all the names in case if I'm not speaking those names, if I'm not speaking the names in the video, but still some of only few children they are sending. I request you to send your assignments on time so that I can award you the marks for the final exams. The practicals, I'll consider these assignments also. I'll consider your attendance also. I'll consider your vigilance also, how much vigilant you were during these days. So be very careful. Send your attendance daily, send your assignments, send your feedbacks, and do your work properly. Children, stay safe.